Hello, I'm Alan Davies. You are listening to the Tuesday Club. This is the Arsenal podcast, and I've got Keith Dover with me this morning. How are you, Keith?
I'm fine, Alan.
Keith has been supporting Arsenal since 1887.
That's correct. And all I've got to say is Daniel leaving his can of petrol, Daniel leaving his can of petrol, Daniel leaving his can of petrol, Daniel leaving... I'm going to get that song in before the Spurs fans do it. And then when they do it, everyone can go, Aguna made that song up.
And Ty Popoola.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Ty Popoola is here. I'm all right. I'm a bit knocked sideways because I've only just found out about Phil Hughes, the Australian cricketer, who was a brilliant batsman, attacking, flair, skilled, talented, and it's absolutely awful what's happened to him. So we're very sad about that. So condolences to Phil Hughes' family and what have you.
And Sean Abbott, of course.
And the poor lad who bowled the ball.
Yeah.
Terrible thing. We were reminiscing about English batsmen going out without helmets and getting one on the head, like Brian Close. People like that. No, not really fully aware of the dangers. So I won't be doing that anymore. Anyway, Keith, you believe that the fire at the sheet metal works adjacent to the Tottenham Hotspur football ground was an act of arson by one of the Tottenham board, possibly the chairman.
It's like an episode from Minder, isn't it? You can almost see Chisholm going up to Harry Redknapp and going, "There's a nasty rumour, Harry, on the manor that you've been playing with matches again." And Harry going, "I don't even know what matches are. I don't even know how to use them. What's petrol? Well, it's something you put in a car. Didn't know, it's nothing to do with me."
Why does Harry Redknapp get a load of stick? He hasn't been there for years.
I just imagine...
They fired him about 2 years ago.
I know, but I can imagine someone from Spurs land going, "You know what, Harry, we need a favour."
Who is the manager there now, anyway? Oh, Pochettino.
Yeah, he wouldn't know.
And Argentina would never do anything underhand.
No. but you see, round the Tottenham way...
Honourable people, step guy.
You know, in Spudland, now they've discovered fire, as they did during the riots. They just like setting light to things.
Well, they haven't burnt anything for a while.
They haven't. So they thought, what can we do? What a coincidence that there's this, sheet metal workplace that happens to be holding up.
No, I only know about this because you told me about it last
It's been in the
night
papers. It's suspicious.
At the
That's all
Dortmund game.
There's one business.
You actually read papers, right? And just absorb headlines and then go off into your own version. Do you have any? Can you bring out the actual facts to bear?
Yeah, there is one business which is resisting the compulsory purchase order around White Hart Lane.
Correct.
Right.
This is the sheet metal works in question.
Who've been there for ages and ages.
6 weeks.
If you look at the company records...
And they were involved in a legal battle.
There's a D. Dean listed as one of those. No, so they're involved in a legal battle with Tottenham Hotspur and
resisting compulsory purchase order.
Resisting compulsory purchase order. And all of a sudden, 2 nights ago, a mysterious fire was started at 5 a.m. by... and it's looking like it was arson. Persons unknown. And even if it isn't Double Agent Levy, right? And we've all talked about him before, Double Agent Levy.
Was it someone from the YID army?
Just the very fact that
See how I kept the Society of Black Lawyers off me back there? See what I did there? Yeah. The YID army.
The very idea that anyone's going to do this in the name of some kind of misguided loyalty is just...
What do you think?
Levels of stupidity. It's arson.
It's a coincidence. It's arson.
It's arson.
Yeah. It's arson. Arson did it. He's got the long game in mind. It's much better to let them build the ground. And bankrupt the club.
Yeah.
That's much. That's the way forward.
So
send them to Milton Keynes for a season.
Send them to Milton Keynes for a season, and then watch them bankrupt the club over the coming years. I mean, they will go into a long dark. If you think we had 10 grim years, I don't know what's coming their way.
If we've been struggling to hold on to fourth for 10 years, what's going to happen today?
Oh, well, we're in the knockout stages of the Champions League for the 12th consecutive year. Well done, boys.
I think
it's back on. It's the 15th. No, get into the knockout.
The knockout.
We haven't always managed that.
Have we not always managed that?
No, we went into the UEFA Cup.
Oh, yeah. So we could top
Should have won it.
Could top the group if we beat Galatasaray.
We've got to beat Galatasaray by quite a sizable score.
Oh, right, okay.
Because we need to get better goal difference than Dortmund, I think I'm correct in saying, because the head-to-head is level.
He's level.
After last night's excellent 2-0 win.
I did look at the table yesterday after the game and wonder where the Anderlecht 2 points went, because they would have been really useful.
They would have been useful. We'd have been neck and neck.
You know what I mean?
But it was noticeable how different the attitude to the game was at 2-0 last night compared to the attitude to the game at 3-1.
Yeah, people were getting...
a couple of weeks ago.
People were getting shooed back into their defensive positions.
Kieran Gibbs was barely out of his own half, noticeably. Everybody played very well, actually, last night. Very focused and intense and organised.
Kieran Gibbs had a great game yesterday.
What do we put that down
Chambers
to?
was good. Well, there must
Pennies
have
dropped?
Pennies dropped somewhere along the line.
You know, Steve Bold's been let out the cupboard.
Someone said to him, when you want to defend, it's not just on those 4 lads at the back, it's all of you.
Did you see, I saw Arsene talk and shout yesterday. Yeah. I mean, when I say shout, I mean he sort of pointed kind of wildly. He actually shooed Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain back at one point. I heard very clearly
I saw the Ox getting back, and he was 10 yards in front of Chambers instead of 40 yards in front of him, and he was more diligent. Still brilliant going forward. He is fantastic, the Ox. You know, I do love him.
He's having
a magnificent player. Fantastic shot he hit against the face of the bar. That was so close to going in off the bar. And worked very, very hard, put in a shift. So did Aaron Ramsey. Things aren't really going for him, but he puts a shift in.
I thought Cazorla put in a shift.
Cazorla was excellent.
Yeah, really good.
We had a 4-1-4-1 again. He shifted it all about again. He still doesn't seem to really know how to set them out. I don't think he quite trusts Ramsey and a pair in the middle there. And Arteta had a very good game because
really good game,
the people in front of him were working hard and not too far away from not leaving him exposed. If everyone sticks together, if they're a bit more compact, if there isn't such a distance between the back four and the midfield, then everyone can be around to help each other. But they were getting strung out in previous games. But even at the weekend against Man United, I hit rock bottom after that. I watched it on the iPad about 5 minutes right to do a gig. And watching them getting these breakaways 2-on-1, at what point did anyone think that Monreal could handle Di Maria and Rooney by himself? There's no defender in the history of world football that could handle those two by himself. It's ridiculous, wasn't it? Only one down. There shouldn't have been a goal because it was a foul by Fellaini on Gibbs. And I don't know how the ref couldn't see that. Fellaini's massive. His arms were clearly out in front of him, and he's pushed him into the goalkeeper. I mean, everyone could see. I couldn't understand how he missed that one. So that didn't help. And then the Anderlecht one, we had the offside goal, which let them back in. We've had a couple of dodgy decisions which haven't helped. But then when you're only one down, it's madness the way they were. Gary Neville was on the commentary going, United will score again in a minute. If they've got anything about them,
so he said,
they will score again. He called it. He called it.
On Monday night, he completely pulled our pants down and just, showed the folly of the team. Like when he went through bit by bit, saying that he's just
about the United
United game, about the second goal, and just the positioning of people. Where Mertesacker was, and just before that, just after they'd scored, we all bombed forward, and he just showed that, but for a erroneous offside.
Yeah, they nearly got in again. They could have scored 3 on the break. Yeah. And it was driving me sitting there going, this is like being in a school team or something. Do they not have no idea? You've got to leave 3 back if they got 2 up. That's basics, isn't it? Especially if one of them's Mertesacker. He's not going to beat either of them in a sprint from halfway.
Has Mertesacker been going further and further forward recently? I spent a bit of time watching him yesterday.
I think so.
He seems to be spending quite a lot of time.
He thinks if we're going to get caught in the break, I don't want to be the one looking shit.
Well, I think he's struggled. I mean, he struggled this season. He's looked. I think we said last time he's looked skittish next to a team which has been changing about.
He's never quite sure where Monreal's going to be. Neither is Monreal. No one is.
Monreal did okay yesterday, actually.
Did okay because everyone was in together. It felt like they were all in it together. Yeah. They were more compact. They were going upfield as a team, coming back as a team. All those cliches about. I mean, it's basically they were more compact. Very intense beginning, competitive against Dortmund because they got a bit blown away out there, didn't they?
And on, I mean, we've said a lot about what Arteta isn't, but what he is a very good technical footballer. And when the ball, I mean, he had an easier time of it yesterday, mainly because Gundogan. Is carrying how much weight was he carrying?
Gundogan, whatever it is. Why is he in the £25 million bracket every time you pick up a
he's
toe?
huge,
That's how much he weighs. I mean,
he can't buy players on body weight.
Yeah.
God, he's fat. We'll have him.
Yeah. He looks getting your money's worth.
Yeah. He's a big one.
I think he's stocky. I don't think
what
he's
it
fat.
is?
He's got short legs and wide hips. He's stocky.
Those hips didn't lie yesterday.
Tony Yeboah.
But Tony Yeboah
Who's the one with the massive arse?
I was going to say Tony Yeboah had a.
There's one currently playing though who's got a hell of an arse on him.
Akin Fenwa.
He's massive all round. It's not just his eye. He is fat.
I was watching. I saw a picture of Kevin Lisby yesterday. Actually, when we were in the pub, I haven't thought
Kevin Lisby. Is he back to fitness?
I think he's retired alongside.
No, he's back. He's playing for the O's, isn't he?
Yeah.
Kevin Lisby's down there at 36.
Is he still going?
Yeah, but last year he was good, scored a lot of goals. This year he's been injured and the O's have struggled. Plus they lost their manager to Cardiff.
Yeah.
That was a weird bit of poaching, bit unexpected.
Have they? When?
Russell Slade got poached by Cardiff City.
Okay. Anyway, and Elka, I was going to say Arteta. Yeah, I like him as a footballer, but I don't really like him in a kind of defensive capacity. So he receives the ball well. He was doing well yesterday, apart from another calf injury, which is going to kind of set him out.
Gutted
for a bit
for
as
him
well.
though, because I thought
really
that was, it helps him that everyone was more positionally focused and concentrated.
They covering him, yeah. He wasn't exposed.
And then suddenly he looked like a team, and you could see what a good player he is. But he got another injury, and I'm gutted about Wilshere. Is it, what are they talking about? 8 to 12, depending if it needs another op.
We're not seeing him for. We're not seeing him till April.
I'm gutted about it. It's a pretty bad foul by McNair. I don't think he intended to injure him, but he was pretty wild, wasn't it? And Wilshere goes through, doesn't he? And he knocks the ball in front of him, and then goes after it, regardless of two big blokes crashing through him.
It was quite a heavy touch, wasn't it? Because we were 4-3 at that point.
But did you see the Manchester City by Munich? And I love Aguero. I just think Aguero. We've got our own because we've got Alexis. But when the guy was chasing him down and he knew he was probably going to get a pen, he wasn't sure he was going to get his shot away. He thought the tackle's coming. He made sure he wasn't going to get injured by the tackle. Do you see where he took the hit? He kind of took it on the side of the leg while rolling into it a bit. He knew it was coming and he took it. You cut him, and Jack's pretty powerful. He's done a lot of gym work. He's got his big thighs and core strength and all that. But he just takes the hits on the ankles and the knees and the feet. Got that one off Agger on his foot.
Someone say he holds onto the ball that too long, so he invites these tackles that seem to come in every game. He knocks it ahead of him
and then it gets away from him. And then once it's got away from him, he'd go in for a challenge where he's going to get hurt. Because it seemed the nous of Aguero to get a big hit coming in from the side, but just to take it on the side of the thigh and win a pen, rather than putting your foot down there and the guy taking your ankle through.
To be fair to Jack, because of where Jack just happens to receive the ball a lot of the time, he's going to get injured a lot more than Aguero. Aguero's, like you say, Aguero's taking it from the side. Aguero's going to get kind of nudged from behind. Aguero doesn't knock the ball dangerously close to central defenders as his MO. And Jack does that a lot and gets caught. He's always faced with three people in front of him.
I think it's
and
Aguero or Freddie Youngberg is a good example. They think, I've lost that one. I've knocked that too far.
Get out.
I don't think, right, I'm going to have to go in hard in a 50-50 here. What you've got to think is, am I going to get a free kick out of this?
Yeah.
I've got to not get injured. I've got to lift my foot and turn my knee so my ankles are out of the way and get hit by someone, and I should get a free kick.
Ashley Young's still working on that.
What about Ross Barkley?
At the moment, he just takes off.
Roberto Martinez said the other day, Ross Barkley's not a diver. Yeah. Why do they say that immediately after he's been exposed as a cheat? And then you've got to come out and say, I'm going to make sure that Ross Barkley doesn't do that again. He's a young lad. It was a mistake.
Who used to do that? Moyes used to do that, didn't he? Moyes used to say that.
I won't have it in my team. I won't have it. I won't have it from an Everton player. That was what he used to say. But Barkley, that was a shocker. Kevin Nolan would have absolutely, honestly, if they'd been outside a pub, he'd have smeared him all over the pavement. Nolan did well there, not to batter him. But it's a blatant bit of cheating, though, and they had a really good shot of it from behind when there was about 2 foot of daylight between a pair of them.
I'll tell you a good example.
He's not a diver, says Martinez.
I'll tell you a good example for Wilshere. Well, for lots of reasons. But for lots of reasons. He's talking about low centre of gravity and the rest of it. And Aguero. I mean, Sanchez at one point, you sometimes you want him to take a
How
dive
does he not?
because he goes in.
What you were saying last night, he's one of these guys where you say, would you run through a brick wall? And he'll go, how many? You know? How many do you want? 10 brick walls? I'll run through them all.
He's fantastic.
He can't actually stand up anymore. He plays so much on the point of exhaustion. He's actually sort of hunched like a hobbit, like he's got the weight.
It was quite a long period last night when he did look like he'd soiled himself in his shorts.
Yeah.
Why were his
That's
shorts
'cause he
so
pulls
much
them up.
darker than everybody else?
Because he pulls them up so high. Or if you want
just-
Damien's joke that he wanted to say, he didn't think of it quick enough at the time, was because he's got a dirty Sanchez. That's what he wanted.
Oh, damn.
Got it out, D. All right, then. But,
Damien, I say to Damien at half time, I said, if Arsene Wenger stepped down at the end of this season, would you take Jurgen Klopp in his place? Oh, well, I don't know. Well, would you? I mean, if Arsene stepped down, well, I think, Arsene can do. No, just would you? I mean, you can say no. If you say no, I don't want Klopp to be the manager. I want Arsene to do his 3 years. I'm not even contemplating him stepping down.
That needs an answer.
No, well, I said, well, look, we'll probably scrape fourth and, we'll get knocked out of everything. He goes, it depends what happens this season. I said, I'll tell you what's going to happen this season. We'll finish fourth and get knocked out of everything. That's what's going to happen. We'll have some good nights, some good games. And he goes, well, I think we could do well in the Champions League. I nearly left the ground.
Well, yeah.
Have you seen Cristiano Ronaldo? Did you see Messi's hat-trick
Don't.
against Cyprus?
That's who's going to be looming.
He got his hat-trick, all three of them with his right foot. And they made it look like three of the easiest goals that have ever been scored.
We could get Monaco.
I know, we could get through because,
Oh, God, here we go. We could tunnel and get out the camp now. And it's
Bayer Leverkusen, Bayer Leverkusen are crap.
And Monaco.
And we, and Porto we could probably beat.
Yeah.
Then you're in the quarters. All you need then is all the really good teams to get drawn together.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you what, I've got a bag of straws here. We can all clutch them, shall we?
We had this conversation yesterday, and we will get Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah,
we do, because I'll go to the
Yeah.
away game if we do. I've never been to the Bernabeu.
Well, fancy, is it too early to get PSG? Are they looking good this year, or are they just
They're
looking
looking
rich?
good, yeah. It's just...
Ibrahimovic and Cavani versus Monreal and Mertesacker.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
God,
mate.
it just scares the life out
That's
of
the
you.
sort of mismatch they charge 15 quid for on the Sky box office.
I mean, God,
maybe not yet.
if it was a boxing match, they'd stop it straight away before it even starts, wouldn't they? Go Real Madrid versus. No, come on, let's call
We'll
this
have
a day, shall we?
we'll have a nice moment then, just while we wait to find out. While we can enjoy between now and the draw, the fact that we're in that.
We're in it.
Yeah, we're in it.
We're in it. And there's a couple of
And that we can
there's a
actually go-
couple of winnable ties to be had.
Yeah.
There are a couple. I don't fancy any of those Spanish giants, and I'll include Atletico.
Yeah. So we don't want anyone from Spain.
I don't fancy any of those three.
Right.
And I don't really. Who else is there?
you don't want
Knocking
Spain?
around. Bayern Munich. No thanks.
Right, so
No Spain, no Germany. Right, so.
No, I'll have Leverkusen. They're beatable.
They're beatable.
Porto,
So
I think
Anderlecht
are
levels are
beatable.
beatable, yeah.
We can do, come on.
okay.
We lost the opening game, but we're on a 5-game unbeaten spin. And
Spins the
I'm trying to keep.
Spins the word.
tell you-
Honestly, Saturday night I was in the camp. I was in the. That's it.
Yeah.
What was your favourite bit about Saturday then?
Was there one?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is, they said, the United keeper was a busy man. Of course he was. We were shooting at him directly.
Straight at him.
Not left to his left or his
I
right.
want to keep her down. We just routine blocks and saves.
Yeah.
That nothing special for a goalkeeper playing for Manchester United and the Spanish national team. He should do all that with his eyes shut, and he virtually did.
And when because I haven't been able to watch it back because football didn't exist this weekend. Apparently, Alexis was just to Jack's left for that.
When he
For
was
that
through,
chance,
but
yeah.
no, but he was clean. He was absolutely clean through.
All he had to
It was
do,
a sitter.
Put it to his
It
left.
was a sitter.
Yeah.
It was one of them where if he'd scuffed it, it would have rolled in. And he tried to do. I don't know what he tried to do. He
He tried to do him with the eyes, I think.
Maybe, but I mean, all he needed to do was just smack it either side of the goalkeeper as hard as he could. Couldn't miss. You couldn't miss. He was clean through 6 yards.
Shows how one-footed he is.
And then after that, he doesn't remain in control. He loses his temper, and I know he's
Should have
passionate.
been sent off.
So what? Yeah, Damien called that straight away because I completely missed that. Or did he sort of?
He got the ump with Fellaini. Fellaini bought a free kick. by going down under challenge from behind. He just went down easy, 6-5. I mean, it's ridiculous, but the ref's got to give the free kick. He's bought that. Wilshere loses it with the ref. Then he turns around. Fellaini tells him to F off. So he goes and puts his head right up in Fellaini's face. Fair play to Fellaini.
Yeah, he didn't react.
Who has got a bit of a hot streak in him. Didn't react. Just looked at the ref going, have you seen what this midget's doing? Can you sort him out before I take his head and drop kick it over the clock end? And he could very easily have been sent.
Yeah. No one, I can't remember anyone, and there's something we talked about before, I can't remember anyone going to Jack and giving him a sort of metaphorical slap and just saying, calm down, mate.
I think the fact that it is, and the commentator pointed it out, and I agreed with him, it was the fact there was such a height difference.
Yeah, it was ludicrous.
That the ref actually ended up just saying, all right, settle down.
Laughing.
Almost laughing it off. Calm down. Yeah. It's a free kick. You need to get hold of yourself. And actually,
that's good.
It was better. It was better that he wasn't sent off. And it was in the old days, it would have been a perfectly good way to deal with it. Fellaini kept calm. He bought the free kick, so it was provocative. Jack's lost his rag momentarily, but he calmed him down, and he didn't lose his rag again. So it was actually the right thing to do. But the way things are now with cards, you can easily get a red for nothing now. And you see people, there was another one, that Everton-West Ham game again, Tompkins went, did you see that? Got pushed in the chest and went down holding his face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Whether he had the ump with Barkley after the Barkley dive, but the feigning and the cheating and the falling down. In a way, you'd rather have a player squaring up to another player, even if he is a foot taller. He would have gone head to head with him, but his head was out of reach, so he just sort of went head to sort of sternum.
The thing is, it was a sitter, like you say, and it just felt like
that was the moment.
It felt bigger than that, because you know. The most Arsenal thing happened, of course, is that, as the more the game went on, I was really annoyed. I just remember where I am. I was really annoyed at half-time that it was 0-0. Do you know what I mean? Because it really felt that we'd kind of blown the chance. And that's exactly what happened.
They're a piss poor team.
They're really poor.
That's what made it worse. We should have taken them.
They were bad last season when...
and we ripped them to shreds and didn't score a goal.
So that was...
but do you think Chesney should have... I know, all right, Fellaini pushed Gibbs and that, but I think there was no communication there again.
No, it was a foul.
He's just gone for the ball.
It was a foul.
I haven't seen the goal on TV.
What happened was the cross comes in, and Chesney's called for it,
called for it.
He's got to it.
Yeah.
Gibbs has seen him come in. He's stopped his run to let Chesney come in, and Fellaini just pushes him in the back, and he crashes into him. I mean, that's the only reason they collided. At the time, in normal speed, you think, oh, God, the goalie's crashed into the fullback. They're all in the mud. It looks ridiculous. But you see it from the other angle, and Gibbs has been pushed into the goalkeeper. And that's why the goal happened. And then he's down on the floor, and Valencia fires one across, and it's just a reflex with his foot. But there's only one way, there's only one direction it's going in. You wish he hadn't done it, but it's just a reflex in a flash. You can't. And it's a goal, but it shouldn't have counted.
And they've not had a shot. And they've not had a shot.
No, they hadn't had a shot and then the first shot was Rooney's first touch, by the way, when he got put in by Di Maria.
That works.
What a player! What a touch!
Well, this is what makes it even more annoying because there's Jack. He had his chance. He scores that goal. We're 1-0 up at half time. We win the game. We know that.
There's a couple other chances too. Like Cazorla hit one straight at the keeper and then laughed. Stop laughing, Santi.
Mertesacker had a header, which
Welbeck, by the way, Welbeck had a couple of decent chances.
He had a header. He headed over,
and he was trying a bit hard.
Yeah,
against his. And they were playing with 10 men because Robin Van Persie was nothing on the pitch.
Only had 12 touches, I read.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
He's on the way out. He'll be available end of the season if you want to bring him back.
Do you think he should have started with the club in January? He should have started with Giroud because Sanchez had just got back recently from an international match.
I don't think he wants to. You can't. You don't bring someone back to play 90 minutes like that. Though Sanchez,
I did wonder if Sanchez would start because, like you say, he'd had
maybe
2 games for Chile in South America,
playing all of them.
But when he gets his star player like this, he never used to drop Henry, did he? He never used to drop Fabregas or Van Persie. Once he's got a player, he plays him every week.
Ozil
played him to the
point
where he
fell over.
Yeah.
Well, I just think Podolski, I mean, if one thing he can do is take a shot. And I think, seeing now the chances that we did have against United, he would have taken a couple of them.
Well, I tend to agree. I don't see the point of playing Podolski for the last 15. I'd say play him for the first half and then sub him off.
Yeah.
At least just because you can get it out of the way. But I think Podolski's going to end up being the kind of millstone around Arsene's neck, because he's what people are using to sort of browbeat the manager even more than perhaps they might do anyway. But the point is, he's not. I think most of us know he's not good enough a player for the team. I guess you need to see it. Maybe like you say, but he needs to do a first half or something.
But you've got to play him up. He's got
a lot to offer, but he's got a system that
on the left of a three. Well, last night Sanchez is in that position. He's in his position. There's only one position he can play, I think, is on the left-hand side of a front three. That's his position, because he's a brilliant finisher, and a great crosser. And in the final third, he delivers the goods. And I like him. I like his whole attitude. He's physically strong. But tracking back, working back on the left of a 4-4-2 is never going to happen.
It's a very simple thing. He's got a player in his, like you say, he's got a player in his position who's better than him.
But he cannot get in the side. And the Ox has got to play at the moment. And you can't play through the middle, really, because back to goal he's not.
Well, that was the shock last night, and everyone was saying, he's playing Sanogo. And everyone was saying, why isn't he not playing Podolski? And yet, bang, Sanogo scores.
Yeah, but Sanogo got a goal. And it was a good goal, too. Yeah. He did well to keep the ball under pressure and laid it off nicely, and then just
got it back from
Gazzola and stuck it in. It was a nice bit of football.
Cost me a £5.
Oh, yeah. You had a bet with Alex. A 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Trying to lure him into gambling.
He said Sanogo's going to get an hat-trick. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a £5. He scores one goal. And what does he go and do?
70 seconds later.
Yeah, 70 seconds, I'm down a £5. Then Stoney...
I've never seen a 12-year-old laugh so much.
Yeah. And then Stoney chips in, right? Because it's all that I felt I was being hustled. He says, well, I'll tell you what, why don't we both give him a £5 every time Sanogo scores? And I think, hang on a minute.
Always on the make, Stoney.
Always on the make. Always on the make. And you know what?
I'm going to be...
His son has now got a better record in betting than he has. Stoney is the one, when I said Giroud first goal, Arsenal to win 2-0, and we were playing someone like Barcelona, and he goes, yeah, good bet that. 40-1 it was, wasn't it? It's not a good bet because it's not going to happen. It's a good bet. No, it's not a good bet. It's not going to happen.
Can you remember anything else? That Yaya Sanogo did during the game?
Well, that's it. He didn't do much else.
Oh. I'm just asking. I'm making it a question. I'm not digging.
He headed the ball when
he ran around a lot, trying to present a target for.
What about
the focal point? I mean, it's like Giroud's the same thing. Everyone's got to work off that, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think the whole point of this is trying to get Aaron Ramsey in the box. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of having a big number 9. Is to try and get people to go past him and score.
It is a bit of an oversight not having Giroud
registered.
No?
Yes, a massive cock up. I mean, how can they say he won't be out till January? Oh, he's fit. What? He's fit? He's going on with that. Medical
this
people.
Is it. This is what I'm...
we've got a new fitness guru in.
Yeah, guru.
Sanogo limps off with some sort of groin injury, and then Arteta's done his calf.
Again.
These are soft tissue injuries. These are all the injuries that we're supposed to not be getting because it's all sorted out.
What was the problem with Welbeck yesterday?
I've heard he's got a knee problem or something.
Is it? Do you know what? Every time it must be like. Have you ever seen the film Gone with the Wind? And there's a classic shot where there's a wounded man, and then the camera pulls back, and there's just thousands and thousands of wounded men all everywhere. And it's just that's our dress.
This London Colney.
That's London Colney. It's just the camera pulled back, and it's just hundreds of players. Just I saw my leg off.
Horse and cart burning.
Jeez.
A torn flag being carried by a one-armed man.
That's us.
Little Vic.
It's London Colney. And it's just... either that or we've got some witch going round going, rub some witch hazel on that.
I saw Koscielny go for a little run up the side. And
he ran up and down?
He was wincing through every step of it. It's an Achilles. These things don't... the
thing is annoying about that is he had it last year, didn't he? They were supposed to have a tendinitis problem in his Achilles last season. There was already...
Good job he covered him.
Well done. Good move selling for Ireland. That was a good move.
It was a very good move selling for Ireland. Have you seen he's out for 5 months?
Well, is he? Is he injured as well?
He's out for 5 months.
Yeah, but you buy somebody else.
We normally sell them to Man City, but we've managed to get 15 million out of Barcelona, and he's played about...
Part X for Sanchez. Oh, so who are we going to get? We're going to have to get centre back from somewhere.
Well, we know we have to, whether we will.
There's this West Ham fella that...
Winston Reid.
We ain't going to get anyone. They ain't going to part with the cash. We know that. Don't even get excited about the January window. It ain't going to happen.
I'm not excited about Winston Reid.
The January window is boarded up. There is no January window.
We got enough going forward. No, little Joel Campbell came on. Yeah. Why is he so scared? What's the matter with him?
Of playing him, or
terrified of the player himself.
You think so?
He ran out on the right wing, looked a bit nervous. Ball came out to him, went down a blind alley with 3 Dortmund players and lost it, and that was his contribution.
Well, he was only on for 5. Give him a chance.
He was terrified. He looks timid as soon as it went to him. We'll lose that.
I was watching Arsene give him loads of instructions.
Don't lose it.
Yes. It's the 88th minute.
When you get it, give it to a red shirt. All right.
So what about the keeper?
Go alone, won't he?
Because Alan, you like.
I like the keeper.
What do you like about him?
I like. What do you mean?
I like his name.
Everything.
Emiliano.
I like.
Martinez.
I like his. His first name's Emiliano.
Yeah, I know, but his surname, because any war movie, there's always saying because someone called Martinez. Martinez, cover me. You watch any war movie, American, obviously, not British. There's always someone
Mexican.
called Mexican. Not so much in the sort of 70s spaghetti genre, but more now.
Might be a Gonzalez, I think.
No, it's
like in Aliens.
Aliens, yeah. But there's a Martinez in that.
That noise.
I will undertake some research.
Rodriguez.
There's always
Rodriguez.
Martinez, cover me.
Martinez, cover me.
Martinez, I liked about was his kicking.
Yes.
Okay.
Distance and accuracy. I liked his good kicking style.
Receiving the ball from a back.
One-handed, the Ray Clements one-handed kick from hands. I like that. He did it with a very long reach.
You don't see that these days.
You don't see it. So that really the ball's well out of the area by the time he's let go of it. And then kicked it 70 yards to Sonogo. Good kicking, good distance.
Yeah.
Never fannying about taking a touch in the box. None of that. Away. Made a very good save at his near post when it was 1-0.
Did you feel safer than him than the 10 minutes you saw of David Ospina?
David Ospina doesn't look the right shape for a goalkeeper.
Oh, no. I don't know.
But then I saw Keylor Navas playing for Real Madrid, and he doesn't look the right shape for a goalie either. But they make it work.
Did you know that Richard Wright was 6'2"?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
What
height did you think he was?
about 5'8", because David Seaman was on Goals on Sunday the other day, and he was like saying that Arsene said that Richard Wright always looked too small in the goal, but he was 6'2". And some people look big in a goal.
But Richard is convinced that Martinez has got freaky arms. He reckons he's like an orangutan. I think his arms.
Freaky arms?
He reckons he's got long arms, but I think they look long because he had the stretchy orange undershirt
and the gloves. I don't think he's perfectly good arms. They weren't right by his ankles. Imagine if you had a keeper like that.
I thought the German keeper had longer arms.
Yeah, I did too.
I heard Rich saying that his arms are too long.
Too long. But can a keeper have too long arms?
No.
Can anyone have too long arms?
Well, certainly not a goalie.
Yeah.
But I thought he accentuated the length of his arms by his kicking style.
Yeah. You see, but anyway, he
I like
played
him.
well.
I like him in goal.
I think he should play Saturday. Don't change it. Playing well, keep the keeper in.
We need a new version of like the Vitruvian Man.
Now, what about Usmanov? Do you think the reason why Wenger was a bit more defensive because Uzi was a bit? He's on his case now and he's coming out with old Russian proverbs, that sort of thing.
I think he made that proverb up.
What was it?
I don't even remember it.
I don't know.
I think it lost a lot in translation.
Arsene did have a little kind of dig. He goes, "If you're in the club, you're in the club." So. But then the point is that he's not
slapped him down hard.
He said, "I like him, but yeah, if you're in the club, you don't criticise the club." But he's not allowed to. I think he's allowed to sit in the director's box, but he's still kept.
Well, at least he's come out and said something. You don't hear anything from Wiggy. He also, I'm a millionaire, but I've got a hamster on my head. God, Jesus, Elton John had an air transport.
Usmanov is very good at piping up at.
Keep going because I'm googling Usmanov's Russian proverb.
He's good at popping up at opportunist, opportune moments, like when the support's kind of in there.
They're very good at coming out with proverbs because Ruski, my Russian daughter, she said, "What is it? If you see a man with a lot of knives, doesn't mean he's a cook." Yeah, you see, it makes
it's about the roof falling in. Hang on.
Yeah.
Did she call you daddy? Did she call you daddy?
What
Keith?
Russian daughter? What are you talking about?
Well, Russian student we had, we sort of more or less adopted her, so we call her.
So that's a weird role play. She calls you daddy, and
No, there's nothing weird
explain.
about it.
I'll try and
She's my
explain
Russian
to the
daughter.
listener.
There's nothing filthy going on here.
Keith and Linda take in lodgers from
Yeah.
time to time, and Keith invents a fantasy life around them.
No. We look after her. She's up at Birmingham University. She's family.
He imagines what she thinks and says
ding,
about
ding,
things.
she's doing a podcast up there right now, going, and I've got this.
Silent Chris is so much better than me at the internet. I don't know how he does it.
Why does his phone look like a
We have a
Lego
Russian proverb: even an old lady can have a roof falling on her.
Well, Russian
See what I
building
mean?
materials.
I mean, the
See?
idea, but it's supposed to mean everyone can make mistakes,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that, does it?
It doesn't
Well,
mean
no,
It doesn't mean
It
anything.
doesn't mean
It's
anything
like-
at all.
It's a crap proverb.
Yeah, crap. See, but you see, you say he's from the Ukraine, and for years I said it's Russian.
He's not
Oh,
from
I
the
think-
Ukraine. He's from Uzbekistan.
Oh, right. Well,
He's an Uzbek. He's Uzbeki.
Oh, well, that's probably Russian too by now. Anyway, it's all going back.
Maybe he doesn't understand the Russian proverb.
No,
Maybe the
probably
Russians
not.
are going, that's not
That's
it, you Uzbeki
You
idiot.
Idiot, yeah.
You proper echo on me.
No, I'm
Today,
sorry. I was
it's
just
back,
rambling.
isn't it? He used to do it. It's come back.
It's come back.
Listen, while we're can we just talk about what is
It's a
it?
terrible habit I've got. Is
What was
finishing
Keith on about yesterday with the
What, prepping?
yeah, the preppers?
The preppers. Well, I've looked it up. But it's all preparing for when everything goes pear shaped.
Let's say the preparing for the
No, I can't say that word. The apocalypse. I can't say it. I've tried. Do you see? This is why I should be given a disabled badge sticker. There's words I can't say. There's people with limps. They get a parking space near the supermarket door. I've got a genuine disability that I cannot claim for, and have no kind of, no benefits, nothing. And yet, I'm meant to get through society
saying
with
the word
saying words, basically when it goes tits up. When everything goes Ebola in this country, I'm going to be
everything
prepared.
goes Ebola.
Yeah, well, it's going to get here one day, mate. Don't you worry. And then you're going to need people like me.
We won't get it. We've got a good health service and hospital system. People will be treated. An outbreak of Ebola in this country will be very quickly dealt with.
if you heard an
people
Arsenal
out there
fan
prepared.
if you heard an Arsenal fan had Ebola, would you not go to the games for a bit? I reckon you wouldn't.
What?
You'd sit out.
What if I knew one Arsenal fan in the stadium had Ebola? I've been to games with people who've had raging flu, so why wouldn't I go? How are you going to spot the Ebola victim in 60,000 people? He's not going to wear a hat, is he? It's me with the disease.
Like something like in The Wire, where Bubbles has got to put a red hat on the guy who's dealing. Do you remember that episode?
That's a good scene.
Yeah.
I could watch The Wire. How long do you think it is with a series like The Wire before you forget it all, and then you can go back and watch it all again? The trouble is with The Wire is that everybody in it dies, basically, don't they? So you know that what's going to become of them all. That's why I can't watch it again.
In the days of
if you haven't watched it, by the way,
in the days of
that is not a spoiler.
Oh, good. Okay, that's good.
In the days of Revolving Girlfriends, I used to watch it with the new one to
How many girlfriends did you go through? So your girlfriends was based on seasons, were they? Season 1 girlfriend, season 2.
No, I used to start again at the to sort of indoctrinate them in The Wire kind of thing. Those are the days.
There's nothing like it now. There was with that
nothing
golden
like that
era
life now.
It's ended.
Sadly.
No.
It's all over.
Damien, Damien yesterday was saying if we were Dad's army characters, which ones would we be? And I reckoned he'd be Godfrey, who she didn't like very much.
Who did he want to be?
He wanted to be, I think, Captain... No, John LeMessurier. That's who he wanted to be.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he wanted to be the sergeant.
Do you know who you'd be?
I reckon Walker.
No, you wouldn't.
Who would I be?
You'd be the U-boat commander they captured.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, I'd have him. Yeah, I'll take that.
What is your name?
Don't tell him, Pike. Yeah, I'll have that one.
Who would Tyre be then?
Well, somebody
careful,
said...
Keith.
Oh,
Careful.
no, somebody did say Pike. Right.
Pike. They wouldn't let Blackfella in a home guard.
Oh, I don't know. It must have been. Well, we can't. You can't bring into it.
Let's not fantasise about the past.
No, we can't bring.
Sorry, son. We're full.
Changing the course of history.
No. So we reckon Sean would be.
I'm sure there's a role for you.
Sean would be. We're doomed.
This is the most ridiculous.
Hey,
Well,
listen,
it's a
This is
Damien.
I'd like to say this is a non sequitur going from U-boats to Klopp, but I do want to talk about Jurgen Klopp.
Are we talking about Jurgen Klopp, or are we talking about the succession? What is we talking about?
No, I just want to talk about he was in front of us last night. Any
looking like Michael Caine.
He properly tries to bully the fourth official, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he
Just
really
like staring at him.
He stares at him like a bully in a classroom staring at a teacher and putting them off their stroke.
They all go for.
At one point, he went over and said something to him, and then he went back, and the fourth official went and got a clipboard and wrote something down, and I thought that's how they deal with it.
Yeah.
He didn't write anything, but I'm sure he didn't write anything actual. He makes it look like he's noted.
He goes straight for Arsene's more for the kind of Snyder side. He sort of just leans in and goes, "You do know that wasn't a foul, don't you? You do know that was a foul."
Yeah.
But Klopp was just kind of like a full volley.
Klopp, every time one of his players signs one of ours down and gets booked, he goes and moans about it. He's pretty intense and shouty, isn't he? But his track record is exceptional. He's about the same age that Wenger was when he took over at Arsenal.
He did say that the team were there for a bit of a holiday from their kind of Bundesliga form at the moment, and it felt like it. They weren't pressing us as hard as they slaughtered us over there.
We stepped up though, didn't we?
But they didn't seem. I mean, they didn't seem to have the same intensity.
They didn't have Hummels playing. Royce is injured. They keep selling their players. I can see him leaving that club, and then if he's available on the market. Are you interested in him? I mean, or do you want Wenger to stay and see out his 3 years, or what?
Well, I think you'll see. I think you'll see that Alan.
Every time we lose a game, it's going to be
Alan Pardew.
Tayo got his phone out before we started recording.
Yeah,
and played us the phone. What was it? The 606 podcast?
It's a 5 Live one.
5 Live
daily podcast.
Who was it? Mark Chapman.
There's Mark Chapman. It was Mark Pugac.
Mark Pugac and Mark
Lawrenson.
Someone phoned up, an Arsenal fan, after we've won, moaning and saying,
moaning.
And then they said, "Who would you like to take over from Arsene Wenger?" And he said, "Well, Alan Pardew." And then I thought my immediate thought is this is a wind up.
Yeah,
it's a wind up. Someone from the YID army. It's a wind up. Posing as a moaning gooner. And then you could just hear Lawrenson laughing hysterically. He's gone off mic because he's a pro, right? He's been doing this 30 years. He's gone off. He's gone off mic to howl with laughter.
It's about 35 minutes, guys, if you want to find it. It's just brilliant. All you hear is this high-pitched off mic.
The idea that you would fire Arsene Wenger and hire Alan Pardew is really hilarious.
How do those guys get through those phone-ins without going, "Listen, mate,
you're screaming"?
They said to him, "Why don't you like Wenger? What is it about Wenger you don't like?" Well, he's got no bottle, basically. And so Pugac goes, "When you say bottle, do you mean tactical nous?" And he goes, yeah, tactical nous.
I think
that's the levels of critical.
I think you're making the guy sound more interested. It was more, no, I don't think he's
Keith
got.
described him as an emotional black hole.
Oh God, it was draining.
It certainly wouldn't be anyone you'd want in your house. But then I think you could say that about almost anyone who's ever called 5 Live when they're not obviously winding them up.
Maybe that's why everybody left early at the Man U game.
The mood outside was vile. All you could hear is Wenger out.
But you've got to say, I mean, they did much improved last night.
Yeah.
And I would like 10 clean sheets in a row and start from there now, really. I would like really that sort of seriousness about not conceding to become a feature of our game again, because it's catastrophic, the mess we're in at the back. Go back through history and look at the amount of times we've beaten Manchester United at home having conceded twice. I can only think of one, and that was when we won 3-2.
Barthez.
I mean, really, well, that was 3-1, wasn't it? The David Platt winner. Oh, yeah. It's very, very difficult to beat Manchester United, even if they are a weaker, lesser Manchester United. If you concede 2 goals, you just can't. The first goal shouldn't have been a goal, fair enough. But the amount of breakaways they had. When we played Liverpool in 2008 in the Champions League, and we were desperate for a goal in stoppage time because Colo had given away a pen and it was 3-2. Cesc took a free kick, and our entire team are in the Liverpool
It makes
area,
sense
right?
to do that.
And they got it away, and Ryan Babel got on his bike and raced up the Cop end, and Fabregas was the only man desperately trying to... I think he had hold of his shorts at one point, trying to stop him. And he scored a goal, and they won, and that was it, 4-2. But that was a desperate moment. That's the only time you should ever be anything like that sort of situation. To see these breakaways... I mean, I could not for the life of me.
There was one very early yesterday.
You know?
There was one very early yesterday where we all looked around and went, "Oh, hang on!" From our corner when they went up the other end.
Yeah, 3 against 2.
And I think Gibbs got back, and made a really good tackle in front of West Island Crickets down at the clock end. But by and large, yesterday they'd kind of learnt their lesson from the Man U game, because it was 3 in a row against Man U.
This can't happen anymore. You know, the 5s and the 6s, 4-0, 4-0 up, 4-4, 3-0 up, 3-3.
So would you take?
It can't happen anymore.
Would you take that? Was it a season and a half ago where we got to the end of the season really very compact as a unit? It wasn't that much fun. I think we got to
getting results,
fourth, and we got results.
In the old days, when we had Henry and Perez and all them, and we get 2 up, and then they take the foot off the gas a bit, and you used to think, go on, put your foot down. This is why they didn't. Get 5. This is why they didn't, because it's not as easy as it looks. They're 2 up. You're away from home. Don't let them get 1, and then we've all got to bust a gut, and then they might get 1 in off your shin or something lucky, and then it's a draw. Don't let them have that. Get the lead, keep them at arm's length, play nice and easy, compact. Maybe we'll pinch one on the break later.
At Highbury, we could have gone home at half-time, 3-0.
Yeah, which is what Chelsea did against West Brom at the weekend. When they were, Chelsea, holy smoke.
Oh, God.
And they were squeezed the life out of them like a boa constrictor, and their eyeballs had popped out onto their faces and they couldn't see anything. And they only bothered trying to score twice because they've got a big Champions League away game coming up against Schalke, and why bust a gut? And so they just kept them at arm's length, and the third goal didn't come. But they're not losing any sleep over that. People saying, this Chelsea are boring, they haven't scored 8 today. They don't care. We didn't get 4 today, we only got 2, but we didn't bust a gut. No one got injured going in for a silly 50-50. No one got booked. We're all fit and healthy, and we'll go and batter Schalke on Wednesday night. That's the way to play. And so if you're 2 up, we used to do it. We used to bring David Platt on and go 5 in midfield as soon as we got 2-0 up, didn't he? So then if you're going to get a third, it's only on the break when you're nice and compact.
Well, this is what is so frustrating with Arsene. I mean, why does he do these things that we all seem to, you've said it, he doesn't buy that player, he doesn't fill in that position that's gone empty, and then we're playing a certain style of football which is just not working anymore. Why is he making these mistakes? I don't understand it. It seems like he gives everybody the ammunition to fire at him every time. You were saying you start agreeing with people like Piers Morgan and Adrian Durham now. When they say things, you go, well, he's actually right.
All right. Easy, mate.
I know, but you said it last night.
No, you can't prove it.
You've changed your tune. Oh, yeah, you'd be good in the wire. I could see that there, all wired up, grassing your mates up.
You can't prove it.
You can't prove it. Yes, what you said last night.
What I said is
what I said. I'm taking the Fifth Amendment.
I do like that is the sort of the lowest possible benchmark of idiocy.
Yeah.
As represented by Piers Morgan and Adrian Durham.
Oh yeah, he said it. Now I'm taking the hit, am I?
Keith,
don't wiggle out of this one. Come on,
I'm not wiggling out of it. What I said is when statements are being made by bottom feeders like that, which you can't immediately dismiss, when you find yourself not being violently angry at their opinions.
Oh, Society of Black Lawyers. Did you draft this statement before you go? I'll get onto the side. I've dropped myself in it last night.
There's not.
I need a carefully
There's levels of idiocy which seem less stupid because the evidence is. Because the evidence is out there, and Arsene is not leaving these questions
out now, don't they?
Well,
do you want him to go at the end of the season? Maybe if we get 4th place and a decent cup run again.
I don't know. I just can't ever sit.
I want the old Arsene back.
I can't ever sit. It's not just. It just doesn't seem that kind of simple. I wouldn't mind. If he goes. I'll
wake him up. Wake up, Arsene. Come on, come out of that coma.
It seems like the right thing to him to do. I don't know. There's something about the kind of the sort of violent reaction and the kind of the rubbish that you hear said about someone who deserves a lot more respect, which kind of makes you resist for a lot longer. But we're always 2 players short. I've said before. I said this last season. I'll say it again. I don't think we'll win the league under him again. And he said this week that we will have a good season. We will go on a run. Of course we'll go on a run because we're in 8th now, and we'll go on a run which will get us to 3rd or 4th. And then here we are again, and we'll get up at the same time next year. So
what happens if Southampton take a spot?
So 4th. They're not blowing up. I said 3rd or 4th.
We'll beat them next week.
We'll beat them next week, and it'll look rosy by January the 1st. We'll buy someone, and we'll come 4th, and then here we are again.
I think that is what will happen. I think that's exactly what will happen. We'll finish 4th, and Arsenal will carry on next season.
And surprise.
But it depresses me that you feel like you can't. The other thing that really depresses me, I mean, the elephant in the room, let's not talk about him.
No.
Good luck to the Footballer of the Year elect. But the thing that really gets my goat is that Chelsea are going to win 3 in a row. They're not going to win this year. Who's going to get their team organised to be better than that next season? Have you seen their forward line? Have you seen the way Matic is, 22 years old or something? I mean, really?
You know he's on 10 assists.
Who, Matic is?
No, him.
Oh, I thought he had 13.
Is it 13 now?
13 in 12 games. Yeah, the best attacking midfielder in the history of the Premier League.
Who went away to Barcelona and came back even better.
Option.
God, you see.
We haven't mentioned him. We haven't said anything. We're moving away from that topic now onto forthcoming fixtures at the Hawthorns. You going up there, Keith?
No.
12:45.
I was
I
actually.
like the Hawthorns.
Yeah, I've never been now.
I like West Brom actually, but they can.
Berahino was arrested this week, so
For what?
for drunk driving, wasn't it? Yeah, it was drunk driving.
Good mind, Silent Chris did a mime.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that
He
was a
did
good mime. I was
he
convinced.
did
I
a
thought it was
drink-
a man in a car there.
He did a drink and a steering wheel.
So,
Yeah, it was it was drunk driving this week. So
He's actually drinking whilst driving. So really, that's good. Good class. Class for a young lad. Well done.
yeah, so it hasn't gone to his head or anything like that. Didn't he just get an England call up as well?
It's in the squad.
So
in
he
the squad for the recent games.
So
He
when
didn't
they're
get on.
celebrating,
God.
it's typical. But yeah, so we got West Ham. We got West Brom 12:45, and then we have got
Southampton in the week.
In the week. Home? Or
Yeah,
what?
home game on the
It's
Wednesday,
going to be a good one
Wednesday
then.
night.
There's talk of the Newcastle
We need
game.
6 points. We need 6 points.
There's talk of the Newcastle game being the Christmas party this year, Al.
Is it? I'm in Dublin, I think.
You're not ready for it.
Yeah, I'm not here for it.
So let's talk about the Scousers for a bit. That was quite funny, wasn't it? They haven't missed Suarez at all, have they, guys?
They've spent well.
They
have spent
money well spent.
He's a genius, that Rodgers. Isn't he?
Have we played them yet this season?
No, we're playing at Christmas time.
Are we? Is it home one? I won't be here
No,
for
I
it.
think it's at Anfield. We're playing them at Anfield just before Christmas.
Fortress Anfield.
Fortress
Fortress
Anfield,
Anfield,
yeah.
yeah.
The library, the new library. Quietest ground in the country.
Yeah, the poor Lambs are struggling a bit, but Ricky Lambert's knocking them in.
Brendan Rodgers said last night that the fact that they came from behind and got a draw against Ludogorets, who've got a similar budget, I think, to Plymouth Argyle. Hello, Plymouth. I went to see Plymouth play the other week. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So they're my new second team. He said it speaks a lot about the characterisation of his team.
Characterisation.
Oh, Brent is back. Brent is back. Say some more things. Say some more things, you utter clown. Give him a massive checkbook and a dictaphone. He can do no wrong for me. Let him stay there as long as possible, spouting bollocks and buying crap players.
They got battered by Palace, but
That was beautiful, wasn't it?
Ripped to shreds by Palace. Yeah. I like Balassi. Yeah. He's the one who kind of was in the shadow of Zaha for a while, and then Zaha left, and he's really come to the fore, hasn't he?
I think Zaha was on the bench this weekend.
And is Zaha permanently back at Palace now?
No, he's on loan,
He's
isn't
on
he,
loan.
from Manchester United for the season?
Why did they take that great player and then never play him?
Well, some players,
I don't
this happens to
understand
them.
that.
I mean, they did Sean Wright-Phillips, Scott Sinclair, Wilfred Zaha, all similar confidence players, dribblers, ball players. Big move to a big club, can't get the side.
Who's the one?
Lose
Jack
it.
Rodwell. Did he go?
He's at Sunderland now.
That didn't work out, did it?
Well, I don't know how he's doing. I don't really know. We need Sunderland to beat Chelsea at the
Zaha
weekend,
was
because there's one thing I cannot tolerate. It's the idea of them going unbeaten throughout the
Oh,
season.
God, the thing
Zaha
is, they
was
could
a
sweep
decent
the
player.
board, though. I mean, they're going to win the Premiership. I mean, the Champions League, they look
There's
very
6 to
strong.
1 on. Some bookies have already paid
out. And
Is that
then
right?
they're still in the Carling Cup, aren't they? Yeah, so they'll
Yeah.
win that. Oh, God, they could win all 4
They
trophies.
could win a lot.
Gee,
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be horrible?
Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch.
Can I just say that it's a
Do
real...
you remember them throwing celery at Cesc Fabregas?
Yeah.
We were playing them. Was it in Cardiff in the cup
Yeah.
final?
In the,
And he
League
went
Cup,
over to take a corner and they threw a massive lump of celery and it hit him on the
Well,
head.
not just one lump. I mean,
well, there was a lot of celery.
Yeah, like, well, like some
was-
6-foot freak celery.
The whole
you know,
greengrocers came and landed on
I'm
it.
getting-
And he got hit on the head by a lump. And it obviously...
Why was it celery? Is that what?
Oh, they sing
They
a
sing
silly
celery, don't they? So he goes down.
Sing celery.
He
As
goes
you
down.
do. The old Cockney celery
Google it.
songs.
He goes down, having been hit by a lump of celery, And then they're all barracking him and mocking him and ridiculing him. How can you go down? It's only a bit of celery. And I said to this Chelsea man, quite a big bit though, wasn't it? That had travelled quite a way.
Right, yeah.
Probably hurt. And also, what's he meant to do? Square up to the lot of you in the corner? Or what's he meant to throw it back? Or what's he meant to do? Go down to one knee and let the ref deal with it?
I'm going down to Southampton tooled up. I've got some claret. No, actual claret. I'm going to spill some claret. And I'm going to throw some edamame beans. No, who was it?
Someone threw some red wine at Man United.
About as Arsenal a thing as possible could happen. You go down there with red wine.
I mean, how embarrassing is it to be an Arsenal supporter at the moment?
Very.
It's the most embarrassing it's ever been.
Yeah.
That's really embarrassing. I don't like to say it. The trouble is with me, everyone just knows it. And when I see people now, as soon as I got to them, they go,
yeah, that's it. I get that. Yeah.
You take some wine to the match. Surprised you're not playing at the back.
And the stewards have been. Was it some people had sort of A4 posters up saying Wenger out, and the stewards.
That's embarrassing as well. Yeah. Our banners are printed off and laminated at work. Our protests are embarrassing.
Yeah, we can't even organise a proper.
We can't think of a song.
No.
No one wants to sing. It was about halfway through the second half, I was saying, I wish someone would go and take that drum off of the bloke. Because Dortmund are out singing, like every other club out sings us, because we haven't got a North Bank, we haven't got a proper end, because we built a shit ground.
We're throwing red wine at people.
We're throwing red wine at the Man United bench. It's disrespectful. But it is Louis van Gaal, after all.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to show a little bit of respect. I don't know, something went on between the substitutes and the fans or something. They're beating us on our own ground. You have got to take it.
Can we just get back to
drink your wine?
Can we just get back to dogs' abuse for Harry Redknapp at least? You know what
Why
I mean?
don't they build a bit of perspex over the opposition dugout or something?
No, just dig a deep hole and put them right down.
Just so their heads.
With periscopes. Or give them tin hats. Like Fergie said they wanted tin hats. Issue them with some tin hats.
We need to throw some sushi at Mourinho when he comes. Basically.
Oysters.
But that is embarrassing when that comes out. That was one of the things we were talking about last night. And you know,
but you can't take a pint in.
Caviar and a catapult.
Yeah, you can secrete wine.
There it is, Chris.
He threw wine at the subs.
Well, if it's a small bottle, you can secrete that in, you see. You can't take a pint into it, but you could probably put a small bottle of wine in with you.
Why you throw? If you can't throw something worth throwing, don't throw anything.
No. Maybe just taste it. There's a reaction. It's
like when you're driving. It's always better just to look at someone rather than give them the finger. Don't bother giving them the finger. They are not worth it. They're never worth it.
This could lead to the ban of minstrels, though, which would be a shame for us and Paul.
A well-aimed minstrel could do some damage.
Yeah. Or just throw them loads of minstrels.
The worst Manchester United team I can remember seeing since the 80s.
But didn't we say that about? I know that was the West Tottenham team, but didn't the Moyes team that we lost to?
That was 0-0, wasn't it?
That was 0-0.
They didn't even try and score a goal.
When did we lose? Who was manager when it came off Van Persie's shoulder? Or was that 2 seasons ago? I'm getting confused.
No, last season they beat us 1-0.
Up at their ground.
Yeah, up at their ground.
And then we drew 0-0 on our ground.
Well, there's definitely a fear going on with this side of Man United.
We can't beat Man United. We can't beat Chelsea, Man United, Man City. We can't.
It's because they're brainless. They're thick.
They haven't got any serious nous about how to win a game. If you get a couple of early goals, if it goes well, it's like a comedian who's just starting out. If the gigs go well, he thinks it's a world beat, and then when they go wrong, he cannot understand it. No. But I was brilliant last week. Yeah, well, because you haven't worked it out. It's not always the same. Everything's different. In some games you have to do this, in some games you have to do that. And once you've worked that out, and there's 11 of you all get that, you will win loads of games. But they don't get it.
A moment, please, for Sanchez's goal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice one, that. But it's a funny one, wasn't it? Because he came inside, the guy let him shoot feebly. But then it didn't have a lot of pace on it. It didn't go right in the corner. It just seemed like it should be saved. But maybe that was made it all the better.
I think it came around a couple of defenders, so he might have seen
it. And then it sort of bounced into the corner.
I like his greedy attitude, though, because when he's really worked for a shot, and you think, there is a pass on there, you go, no, I've worked hard for this. I'm going to take this shot. You have done nothing to contribute to this moment in time. So there's no way I'm going to pass it to you, mate. I'm going to take it.
He was talking
to him. That's what you want, greedy.
I'm not sure how his English is doing, but he was chatting a lot to Gibbs.
Well, that's what we need. They don't talk to each other.
Yeah, hold and he did the old the universal 2 fingers on the temple, the think sign for just after a goal, which is obviously
well, that's
essential.
good because he does get it. He has got nous, and he does get it. And Mertesacker needs to take more command because it's all very well coming out afterwards and giving interviews about we did this wrong and we did that wrong.
Yeah, we know that.
See you transmitting that on the field, on the field, and they did last night. I mean, I was all ready to fire everyone after the United game, clean out the whole back four, replace the manager, throw out 18 years at the end of an era. I was just jumping ship into that camp. I turned up I nearly didn't go. Yeah. I had a bit of a cold. I've been working a lot. I said to T, if you've got a mate who wants to go, and then I thought, no, I'm going. I always go.
Well,
I turn up and we were nicely organised, committed,
and do you know what?
Talented, 1-0.
And there it is, right there. Just about to knock. Of course
just
you are. And of course you are. And Gazee, and they all know. Of course you turn up.
Yeah.
There is the dialect. There's the modern Arsenal thing in a nutshell. I'm not going to go. I've had enough. I didn't want to go. I really didn't want to go yesterday. It was a bit cloudy.
It's a horrible night.
Foggy, horrible night.
I got soaking wet riding home.
It's on the telly. Just made some food at home. Whatever else you've got at home that helps you watch football matches normally, and then you just think, actually, no, of course I'm going to go.
It means weed.
I did not. I meant red wine, actually. No, right, and edamame beans. But no, you go, right, I'm going to... And then, of course you go. Because that's what we do. And that's what
we need 6 points off West Brom and Southampton, don't we? And then what's the next game after that? Do you know?
No idea.
Is that not new? That's the third. It's probably Newcastle, isn't it? 9 days later.
Southampton's
do you know, I watched the Swansea game in our local pub, and I went in there, and it was lovely because there were some nice young hipsters, gooners, very polite, lovely people.
What made them hipsters?
Well, they got those beards and things, and but
Stoke.
Good people.
Stoke away.
And then there's always the Spud there, and they are thick. I've got to say this. I know you defend them and say they are human beings. I disagree.
We've never defended anyone.
Who is it? Why did Darwin go all the way down to the Galapagos Islands when he could have only had to go up the road and seen the missing link up there? They are the thickest bunch of Neanderthals. I'm in this pub trying to enjoy the game, and all you hear, come on, Swansea, come on, Swansea. They can't even get their words out correctly. And you just think, we're just trying to watch a game, mate. Peace and love. All animals round the watering hole. They don't tear one another apart. Unless you're a Spurs fan, you go down to the watering hole and just eat everything.
So you watched the game, Keith?
I watched it. Yeah,
you don't watch football games unless you go to them, I thought.
No, they've got this new sports bar down the end of the road, and they show the games.
New sports bar and a new deli, you said.
We're getting a Portuguese deli.
It's got a sports bar.
Yeah.
And a deli.
Yeah, the door's closed on you, mate. You had your opportunity. You were looking around Walthamstow.
Bow quarter, you mug.
Yeah, the Hoxton Elite, when you could be with a Walthamstow
market.
I'll tell you, I saw in Bow.
On the tube as well.
I'll tell you, I saw in Bow. Bow Road. Yeah. I saw Grandmaster Flash. Grandmaster Flash is living in
Grandmaster
Flash
in the famous Five.
Furious Five.
Furious Five. I knew it was.
You remember them, Keith? Grandmaster Flash.
No idea who Grandmaster Flash is.
Yes, you do.
You do. White Lines, your favourite, Keith.
Especially
after
White Lines. Oh yeah,
especially after a cup final.
Yeah, White Lines. Yeah, those were the days. Yeah. God, it's the trouble when you see it on TV. You think, oh.
What?
Yeah, could have fancied some of that.
When you see it on TV?
Well, when you're watching a film, someone's doing a...
That's glucose, mate.
Yeah.
That's acting.
But yeah, anyway.
I know they're not doing it for real.
All that is, it's a sherbet dib is what they're taking there.
Grandmaster Flash is living in Bow Quarter. He's buying Maryland cookies.
Yeah, was he?
At the moment, yeah.
How are you getting on in that neighbourhood? Are you like a face there, when you walk down the road and people wave at you? Just wondered.
Once or two, yeah.
Yeah, you see.
The short answer is yes, Keith.
Yeah, of course you would, mate.
Hang on, I'm trying to find.
You got Grandmaster Flash, but no. So with the Spuds, you got to laugh at them, haven't you? Really, I think.
You're ad-libbing, Keith, aren't you?
No, I just despair sometimes.
When I go on the internet to look something up,
he's
Keith
confused. He just has to talk.
I know.
I quite enjoy it.
Ramble, really? But why are they so aggressive?
They're only human.
Well, but you say that though. You say that. I look at them and think, why did God create them? Unless they're to make me feel better about myself. It does help, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Oh, I recognise that.
how I keep from going under.
You know that.
I know that.
We all know that.
Right, so
He
let's-
lives in Bow.
Wow.
He's living in Bow Quarter at the moment.
He walks about singing this.
Because I'm close to the edge.
Close to the edge. You did a little move there, didn't you, with your hand?
Yeah, close to the edge. You see that? That's what you call rhythm, T.
Maybe they should. The team should come out to this because the fans.
Yeah,
Because the fans are close to the edge, my friends.
Yeah. We are, yeah.
I think.
Oh well.
We're one game from Man.